Hey guys, it's DJ with ansgear.com, and this is the Empire Trracer. When you get your new Trracer, it's going to come in this nice cardboard box. You open it up, first thing you're going to see is going to be your manual. They include a CD-ROM manual that you see here, but also what they call a quick start manual. It's going to include everything you need from safety to gassing the gun up, how to fire it, all the normal stuff that you need to know right off the bat. It's a nice little feature that's pretty easy to carry around with you in the gun box, and it's going to tell you all your basic stuff. Underneath that, you're going to see this little box here, and that includes your Allen key set, a spare O-ring, spare detents, and a couple screws. The gun doesn't actually take all that much, so you don't need a bunch of spare parts. It's nice they include what you do need though. And you're also going to see the clamping feed neck for the gun. It actually attaches to the rail on top, and it is a cam lock style feed neck, so it's very easy to put a loader on it. And then you're going to have your barrel sockets included with the gun itself. Underneath that, you're going to see the Trracer and then its barrel that sits below it. Now that you see what comes in the box, let's take a look at the Trracer itself a little more closely. The Empire Trracer is a great entry-level pump. It's nice that they've come out with something that's going to be compatible for the lower end of the market when it comes to pump guns. So anybody can get their hands on a pump and give it a try. It's a great pump marker for the money. It runs on compressed air or CO2. It's set up for a constant air system, but you could put a 12-gram CO2 changer on there if you wanted to. Run stock class. It takes an autococker barrel. The stock one's about 14 inches. The opening on the shroud itself on the pump seems wide enough for most barrels, but it's always a good idea if you could try a barrel on there before you purchase it, so you make sure it fits. It does come with a cam lock clamping feed neck, so it's very easy to put loaders on there. Either agitating loader, like a little 40-round Gen X loader or something like that. It's got a auto trigger, and what that means is when you hold the trigger down and you pump the marker, when the pump returns all the way forward, it's going to fire the marker. So if you continually do that, it's going to allow you to put a lot of paint in the air compared to what a pump gun normally can do. So it's a nice feature, especially on a lower end pump marker. It's a great thing to have. Both the underside of the pump here and the top are going to have this rail system. So that allows you to put red dot sights, or on the underside you can put one of the BT folding foregrips, which is really cool because then you can hold the foregrip and pump that way. The breech is actually first strike compatible. As far as I know, what you'd have to do is you actually pull off the feed neck here, and you can actually single load them through the side hole. And that's kind of a cool feature for a gun that's not made by Tiberius to take the first strike rounds. My experience is they're actually really cool. They do give you the longer shot, flatter trajectory, but you always want to check with your field and make sure that they allow those. Now the Trracer itself is actually a remake of the original PMI Trracer that was out years ago. So if you have been in the sport for a long time, you might remember the original PMI Trracer, might have had one back in the day. The internals are actually compatible, so if you got an old PMI Trracer, you need parts, you can probably get them now. But basically it's an old tried and true setup, and it's very reliable. So it's a great entry-level pump that's not going to break down on you all the time. There's not a lot of stuff you got to mess with. It's go out there and play and have a good time. You can get the Empire Trracer at ansgear.com.